Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 7th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of our data that's coming up, let's have a quick look here. We had some positive numbers that came out today. On a Tuesday here, coming up, we have Eurogroup meetings here. And now with the Eurogroup meetings here, if there are any comments that suggest that the meetings are not going well, or if there is some contention between different European countries, that could cause problems for the euro, and we could see euro drop. So just keep an eye on that. But other than that, not a ton of important data here. We have current account numbers here for Japan. But other than that, nothing major here. So let's move on to our charts now. So overall, actually, before we get into this, something that has happened today, or actually I should say a couple of things that we need to keep in mind today. One is that there has been a drop in the new cases for coronavirus, especially in Europe, and that is being considered as a good thing. Well, of course, because we want the virus cases to drop. And as a result of that, it has created a risk-on environment. So our equities or stocks have actually gone up. So that's one thing. And then we also got news from UK saying that Prime Minister Boris Johnson was actually in the hospital because he has been infected by coronavirus, and his health was deteriorating. And also then, and then later in the day, we got the news that he was actually in ICU. And because of his being in intensive care, we saw that the British pound actually took a hit. So keep an eye out on how, on what kind of news we get in terms of his health. If we see that there's a recovery, that will be positive for British pound. But if things kind of decline, that would be negative for British pound. So just keep that in mind. So let's dive into this here. We'll start off with our euro dollar here. And as we can see here, the candle close for the day is neutral. We see that price has come into this support. It hasn't been able to break this support level yet. And the candle close here today is neutral. So at this point, bias is neutral here. We have seen a good, nice drop here. But if we are not able to see a break through this support, we could see price going back up. And in that case, our next target here will be 1.0880. But so first target would be 1.0840 and then 1.0880. So keep that in mind. Basically, I'm looking for price to retest the support. If it doesn't go through, we could see this type of a move. So for now, though, I'm neutral on this. Now, on the flip side, though, should it break through the support, then we could see a further move to the downside. Next target would be 1.0720, and then below that, we're looking at 1.0680. For now, though, if it doesn't break the support here, chances are very high that it goes back up. So keep that in mind. For now, neutral bias for euro dollar. Pound here, on the other hand, though, we have been seeing a decline in British pound. So today, price, we do have a bearish candle close, but as we can see, price was not able to break the support. But then there was a test lower in the Asian session at this point. So right now, bias is to the downside. We just have to be cautious with this one because a lot of this will be driven by market sentiment based on what kind of news we get in terms of Prime Minister Johnson's recovery there. So for now, bias is bearish. But the caution here would be if it holds above today's low, which is at 1.2200, then we could see price move back up. For now, though, bias is bearish. We do need to see a break below the support and then a continuation to the downside. So that's definitely important. So this is the level we're watching, 1.2200. If it holds below, I will look for a further move to the downside. Next target is 1.2080. So bias is bearish for now. And then below that, we are looking at 1.1960. So bias here is bearish, just with caution. Aussie dollar here, this one has actually done well. So with our equity markets doing well, we have seen, basically, we have seen a risk on environment. And when there is a risk on environment, Australian dollar does well here. And so bias is bullish here. We have a bullish engulfing candle close, so we could see price go higher. And our target here is 0.6200, which is the top of this little range here. So bias is bullish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is also a bullish. We have seen a bullish candle close for the day. As we can see, we have a bullish engulfing candle close here, so bias is bullish. Next target here would be 0.600, and then above that we are looking at 0.6080. So bias here is bullish for New Zealand dollar as well. Now do keep in mind price is into resistance here at 0.695965. So if it doesn't break through this resistance, but if it doesn't break through today's high essentially, then we could see this one drop. So just be cautious with this one. I'm not sure if the market is truly turning, it could just be just a quick push up and then price, and then essentially the market drops again. So that's something we have to keep in mind, and we'll just have to keep an eye on price to see if there is a follow through, because sometimes we see this one-off move to the upside and then it just turns around and gives everything back. With the volatility as it is right now, that has been happening. That's why we have to be careful. For now though, bias is bullish. Next target is 0.60 and then 0.6080 for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one as well, we have seen a nice bearish engulfing candle close here for the day. So bias here is bearish. Next target here is 1.4020. Or 1.40, and then below that we're looking at 1.3920. So bias here is bearish for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our commodities here, starting off with silver here. Silver looking bullish. It's finally managed to break through this resistance here and has moved higher. Bias is bearish. First target, we are already at first target here, 15.50. Now that is a good resistance level. So if it doesn't go through, this one can move back, but it is looking bullish. And next target here is 15.85. So bullish bias here for silver. And then we have gold here, big move up in gold, and prices into resistance right now. So it's kind of already hit that first level, but we are still in the Asian session, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. So bias is bullish. First target 1675, and then 1688 is the second target. So bias is bullish here for gold. Oil here, oil is interesting. We do see that price is holding above the support level, but it hasn't quite broken the resistance. So at this point, I would say bias is bullish, but just be cautious here. If it doesn't go through 30.50, this one can reverse from here. So keep that in mind. So for now, bias is neutral here for oil. Today's candle close is neutral, hasn't quite broken the resistance, but if it does, we're looking at 32 and then potentially all the way into 34. So for now, neutral bias for oil. Copper here, copper is looking bullish here. It's pushing into the resistance right now. We do have a bullish candle close for the day, and as we can see, it does have that upward bias here. So the problem would be the resistance level at 2.20. So once it holds above, then I would look for a further move to the upside. So for now, bias is bullish. We just have to be careful at the 2.20 level because that's our resistance level. But once it goes through, we're looking at 2.26 and then 2.30. So bullish bias, but again, just keep in mind, if it doesn't break above this 2.20, it can come back down because it's still a range bound at this point. So bullish bias, but with caution. And then we have our Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's looking bullish. We see that price actually closed quite bullish here. And so bias here is bullish. Next target is 76.20. And then above that, we're looking at 79.80. So bias here is bullish for Bitcoin. S&P 500, we had a nice bullish day here. So bias is bullish. Now, just be cautious as to how much room we have to the top side here. And as we can see, price is into resistance here. So this is an important support resistance level. So do watch out for that. If it doesn't break today's high, it can reverse. But for now, I would say bias is bullish. Next target is 27.40. So bullish bias with caution. NASDAQ here, same thing. Price is into resistance here. So if we zoom out a little bit, as we can see, this is the level that price has struggled with previously. So keep that in mind. Bias is bullish, just with caution. Next target is 83.20. So bullish bias here for NASDAQ. And then we have Dow Jones here. This one's looking bullish as well. Again, we do need to make sure that it closes above 22,650 for this one to continue. But the next target here is 2350. So bullish bias for Dow Jones as well. And then we have DAX here. DAX is looking bullish as well. It's gone through this resistance level finally. So next target here is 10,500. And then above that, we're looking at 10,700. So for now, bias is bullish for DAX. FTSE, same thing here. We do have a bullish candle close. Next target here is 57.30. And then above that, we're looking at 58.60. So bias is bullish for FTSE as well. And then we move on to Nikkei here. Big move to the upside, nice bullish engulfing candle here. Next target is 19,400. And then above that, we're looking at 19,675. So bullish bias here for Nikkei as well. But like I said, the move to the upside can be reversed here. We are coming into a week of actually a kind of scary week for the US. The number of projected cases are expected to grow. And unfortunately, with that also, the expectation or the modeling shows that the number of deaths will grow as well, which can have a negative impact on the market going into as we kind of move forward into the week. So just keep that in mind. Basically what that means is we just need to watch the charts carefully because things can change very rapidly. So that's it for today. Have a great trading day tomorrow, and I'll see you again in the evening. Bye for now.